Europe, in the 1400s, was a continent transformed by fear. The bubonic plague had arrived in earlier centuries, but in the 1400s it still pulsed through towns and kingdoms, returning in waves that reshaped daily life, faith, and power. It is a century remembered for kings and cathedrals, but beneath those stories was a quieter truth. Most people lived under the shadow of disease. In this video, I use modern AI tools to bring historic paintings, engravings, and woodcuts to life. These reconstructions let us step inside the streets, shift our view, and move through scenes their original artists could only freeze on a page. First, I want to talk about this is a plague-stricken market town. This view shows a small town somewhere in Western Europe around the year 1405. We're looking downhill toward a muddy main street lined with timber houses, leaning toward each other at uneasy angles. Merchants set out crates of onions, bread, and rough wool, but the market isn't crowded. Half the stalls are empty. In the foreground, a working mother clutches her child and crosses the street quickly. You can almost hear the shouts of traders trying to keep spirits alive, the creak of carts, the beat of hooves, and the uncertain silence between them. By now, plague was not a surprise. Local records from places like London and Paris speak of bodies removed weekly, sometimes daily. People whispered about rats, bad air, or sins unconfessed. This market mattered. Food, cloth, and news all flowed through it. But fear slowed every exchange. And in time, many such towns changed forever, either shrinking or being rebuilt in new patterns. Today, some of these medieval street lines still survive under modern roads. This view shows a city gate under watch. Here we stand before the fortified gate of a larger city, around 1410. Tall stone towers rise above us, banners snapping in the wind. Guards cluster near the entrance, holding long pikes and wearing padded jacks. In front of them, a crowd waits to be let inside. Merchants press forward. Travelers hold road permits, but the guards turn many away. By the early 15th century, European cities increasingly restricted movement when rumors of plague spread. The smell of smoke mixes with livestock and mud. Strangers look like danger. Some towns closed their gates entirely, cutting trade that once fed them. Still, the gate mattered. It protected wealth, craft guilds, and royal authority. Over the century, stricter watch at city walls became a normal tool against disease. Today, these same gates stand as tourist icons, silent witnesses to fear-driven decisions. This view shows a medieval apothecary. This indoor view places us inside a dim shop, lit by a single window and a guttering candle. Shelves hold jars of herbs, sage, rosemary, lavender. Dried roots dangle overhead. By the 1400s, apothecaries and physicians worked together, though their cures rarely helped. In the foreground, a customer holds a cloth over his mouth. The apothecary mixes powders into a small leather pouch, promising protection from evil vapors. You can imagine the smell: vinegar, resin, crushed flowers, and fear. Outside, carts creak past, carrying the sick. This place mattered because people still hoped knowledge might save them. Books from Islamic scholars and ancient Greece circulated in translation, and many believed answers were close. Later centuries transformed this trade into chemistry and medicine. Today, pharmacies sit on the same foundations. This view shows a plague house marked and closed. Here we see a narrow alley around 1420. Plaster walls are dark with rainwater and smoke. On one door, a crude painted sign warns others to stay away. Inside, a family suffers alone. Neighbors walk by quickly. A priest stands in the midground and whispers prayers through the wood. No one crosses the threshold. The city hoped that sealing houses would contain infection, though it rarely worked. Still, quarantines became the official response across Venice, Milan, and other major cities. This mattered because it was one of the first exercises of organized public health power, even if misunderstood. Today, the idea of quarantine has modern form: hospitals, border checks, and medical science. This view shows a church square under strain. By the 1400s, the church was the spiritual heart of every town. This view shows a stone church with a small square in front, packed with people. In the foreground, families kneel. The priest raises a cross. Bells toll overhead, echoing across rooftops. Religion gave meaning to loss. Confession lines stretched long. Some blamed divine judgment, others clung to hope. Yet tension simmered here too. Clergy died in the same numbers as their flock. Sometimes the church struggled to bury the dead or explain disaster. Still, this place mattered deeply. Faith helped communities endure. Later, these stresses fed questions that would shape reform and reformation. Today, many of these churches still hold services on the same stones. This view shows a plague doctor on the street. This scene brings us to the 1430s. A man in a long coat and leather gloves walks slowly through a damp street. On his face sits the famous beaked mask, stuffed with herbs. In truth, these masks became more common later, but artwork of the 15th century hints at early protective ideas, covering the mouth, using fragrance, and avoiding touch. Children watch from windows. A dog barks in the background, unbothered by human fear. The plague doctor mattered less for cures and more for duty, recording deaths, easing panic, and sometimes acting as the last living person a family saw. Today, the mask survives as a symbol, half science, half superstition. This view shows a mass burial ground. Here the sky is grey. A cart stands in the foreground, filled with wrapped bodies. Labourers dig a long pit in the midground. The priest's voice is thin against cold wind. By some estimates, plague waves still claimed millions across Europe in this century. Rural and urban landscapes alike sprouted temporary burial grounds. The work was urgent, grim, and dangerous. Few wanted to do it, yet it mattered. Towns could not function if bodies remained in homes and streets. Later generations built gardens, churches, or houses over these spots. You may walk across them today without knowing. This view shows a deserted farmland by the early 1400s. Many fields lay empty. This view shows a once busy farmstead. A tilled field has gone to weed. A thatched roof sags. The farmer's family is gone. Victims, refugees, or moved to a nearby town that paid better wages. The silence is striking. Crows circle in the background. This scene mattered because land ownership changed. Lords lacked workers. Peasants gained bargaining power. In England, this helped fuel the end of strict serfdom, a social shift as dramatic as any castle siege. Today, many medieval field boundaries still trace the landscape. This view shows a merchant caravan on a dangerous road. Trade survived, though weakened. Here we watch a line of pack horses cross a muddy track between cities. Merchants wear cloaks pulled tight. They travel fast, avoiding villages rumored to be sick. In the midground, a small bridge crosses a brown river. Beyond it, hills fade into mist. This mattered deeply. Spices, grain, cloth, and metal had to move or people starved. But travel spread disease as well as goods. Later, cities created laws to inspect ships and roads, early customs and health controls. Modern supply chains have roots in these anxieties. This view shows a royal court behind safe walls. By the mid-1400s, the plague shaped politics. Here we stand inside a hall lined with tapestries, where nobles debate tax and war. Fresh rushes line the floor. Guards stand still as statues. Courts in France, England, Aragon, and beyond all adjusted their routines. Kings fled outbreaks, closing councils, or moving from palace to palace. Henry VI of England and Charles VII of France depended on mobility as much as soldiers. Power survived, but fear traveled with it. Royal policies on labor, trade, and public order were built around managing a sick population. Today, these palaces welcome tourists rather than courtiers. This view shows recovery and renewal. Our last scene looks toward the late 1400s. A bustling street, more hopeful than the first. Markets are fuller. Builders raise new roofs. Children race in the background. The plague didn't vanish, but life returned. Wages rose. Craft guilds thrived. Books spread knowledge faster, especially after the printing press appeared in 1440. Out of loss came change. Economic growth, new ideas, and the seeds of the Renaissance. Stand here long enough, and you can almost feel the future forming. The centuries between us and the 1400s are long, yet moments like these feel close. Families worried, prayed, argued, worked, and hoped, just as we do now. Through AI reconstructions, we can walk their streets and look through their windows, seeing not just tragedy, but resilience. If there's another city, another moment, or another hidden corner of history you'd like explored, let me know in the comments. Again, thank you so much.